All right, let's talk about something that's on the mind of every parent and every new driver in New Westminster. We're talking about getting ready to handle some of the toughest urban driving conditions you're going to find anywhere in the region.
So let me just ask you straight up. Are you, or is the new driver in your family, really ready for the roads in New West? Because just passing the driving test, that's one thing, but being actually prepared for the reality of driving here, that is a whole different ballgame.
Let's just start with this number, 17%. And nope, that's not a typo. That is the actual grade of some of the city's steepest hills, like the one on 12th Street. I mean, that is a serious challenge for any driver, let alone someone who's just starting out.
Okay, now let's combine those hills with another number, 50%. That's how much your stopping distance can increase, get longer, on Metro Vancouver's roads when they're wet. And let's be honest, that's a lot of the time. Just think about that. It takes you more than 1.5 times as far to come to a safe stop. So when you put all of that together, these numbers really start to paint a picture of a very unique local challenge. It's kind of like a perfect storm of steep hills, unpredictable weather, and heavy traffic that really puts inexperienced drivers to the test. And this really shows you the whole picture. You've got those insane hills on 12th Street and Royal Avenue. You've got the wet roads that just kill your stopping distance. You've got all the pedestrian traffic on Columbia Street and the commuters jamming up McBride. And then you've got to tackle those complex highway merges at places like Brunette. It is a true test of skill.
But here's the thing. This isn't really just a New West problem. It actually points to a much bigger kind of systemic issue in how we train new drivers everywhere. There's this thing called the practice gap. So what is this practice gap? Well, simply put, it's the fact that our licensing programs, they just don't require enough supervised practice. So what happens is, new drivers can get their license without having the sheer volume of experience they need to build real-world skills and that all-important muscle memory. Now check this out, because this is where it gets really wild. On the right, that's the global best practice. All the research says you need about 120 hours of supervised practice to be a safe new driver. And on the left, that's British Columbia's minimum requirement. 0. Yep, you heard me. 0 required supervised hours. It's kind of shocking when you see it laid out like that.
Okay, so if the system itself has this massive gap, what are you supposed to do? How do you fix it? Well, the source material for this whole explainer suggests that the answer is in a totally different standard of training. The material points to an approach from a school called Young Drivers of Canada, and what's really interesting is that 4 separate, independent reports have found that their graduates are measurably, you can actually count it, safer on the road. So that's a pretty big claim, right? The question is, how do they do it? What are the specific methods they're using to get those kinds of results?
Well, their method is really built on 4 core ideas. First is all about seeing trouble before it happens, proactive hazard perception. Second, they actually train you for emergency maneuvers so you know what to do when things go wrong. Third, it's about sharpening your cognitive skills, your reaction time. And finally, and this is the big one, they give you a framework for structured practice to close that practice gap we just talked about. And it all builds confidence in this really logical way. You're not just thrown onto a busy street on day 1. Nope. You start in an empty parking lot, just mastering the basics. Then you move on to quiet side streets, then to busier roads, and only then do you tackle the highways. It's all about learning at the right pace. And to help close that practice gap when you're driving with your parents, they use technology. There's an app called the Driver's Coach that uses AI to log your trips, analyze how you're driving, and give you feedback. It basically turns random driving time into structured, accountable practice sessions that actually help. Of course, all of this sounds great, but claims are one thing and data is another. So let's actually look at the proof. What are the safety outcomes for the people who graduate? Here it is. This is the headline number, 96.7%. That is the percentage of young drivers graduates who are either completely collision-free or were not at fault in any collision they were involved in. That's a really high number. And check out this comparison to untrained drivers. The data shows 62% fewer traffic violations and 43% fewer accidents. I mean, those are just massive, massive reductions in risk. And this chart breaks down that 96.7% number even further. As you can see, over 92% of graduates have never even been in a collision at all, and only a tiny fraction, just 3.3%, have ever been in an at-fault accident after their training.
So the real takeaway here is about reframing the choice you're making. It's not just about picking a school to pass a test. It's about making a decision that's an investment in long-term, lifelong safety.
And this table really lays out the comparison clearly. You've got one approach that focuses on defensive and evasive skills, uses an AI app, and has proven safety outcomes. And then you have the standard budget course, which is mostly just about basic test prep, uses paper logs, and, well, often relies on pass rates that you can't even verify.
And honestly, this might be the most powerful statistic of them all. Over half of the graduates, 56.8%, said they have actively avoided a crash specifically because of a skill they learned in the course. That right there is the real-world result of this kind of training.
So ultimately, this leaves us with one final question to think about, and it goes way beyond course fees or class schedules. It's this: what is the true value of a lifetime of safe driving?